Hey, so I'm going to take you through a quick diastasis recti workout. 4 exercises. We're going to kind of just move quickly through each one. The important thing I want you to know with diastasis recti is, yes, it's a separation of your rectus muscles in the front here, but it's all about the connection and the engagement that we have between the core muscles, right? So we'll start on our back, and I'm going to talk you through a little bit of that engagement so you can feel it. And then you'll also notice that we do a lot of cross body movements with the exercises. That's in hopes to like pull the abs back together, right? So that's what we're thinking. It's pulling the abs back together, flattening out through your lower abs, making sure we're not pushing outward this way, right? If I start to push out like this, that's going to just put pressure out into my core. We don't want that to happen, right? So we want to think about a nice gentle engagement, flattening out through the low abs, okay? So let's take it down on the ground first. And we're just going to go through some of that breathing, like I mentioned. The breathing is always the most important part of all of these exercises, right? So let's put one hand on your belly, and then we'll have you put one hand on the inner thigh, or inner hip bone. And from here, we're going to just breathe. So take a nice big inhale. You're going to breathe into your belly, but I also want you to breathe into your ribs too, okay? So big inhale in through your nose. Exhale out through your mouth. Good. So now I want you to, again, breathe into your ribs and your belly. And then as you exhale out through your mouth, I want you to imagine drawing those hip bones together and creating tension underneath. So where those fingertips are on the inner hip bone, you should start to feel some tension there. So right now it's soft and squishy when I inhale. And then exhale. I'm thinking about lifting in and up and together, and then we'll create some tension in the lower abs. So our goal throughout these exercises is to try to keep that tension in your lower abs pretty much the whole time while you kind of breathe into your ribs still too, okay? All right, so first up, we're gonna come into a bridge. We'll just do a couple bridges here to get warmed up, okay? So I'm gonna just gently tuck my tailbone as I bridge the hips up, making sure I'm not arching through my back, okay? So drive through the hips, squeeze the glutes gently at the top. On the next one, we're gonna hold it up, okay? So I'm holding this here. I'm gonna take my left hand and I'm gonna reach to my right knee, push, and then come back down. So I bring my hand down, exhale, push into that hand and knee, and then come back down. If you need to, you can drop the bridge and we're just cross crunch and then come back down. So I exhale into that hand. Good. If you have your hips up, we're holding it for 3 more. Good. We're actively pushing into the knee with the hand. Good. Last one here. And then come all the way down. Good. So now we're going to take it to the other side. So I'm going to bridge up. We'll do 2 bridges. And then we're going to hold this next one. So bridge, hold this leg up. We're going to take right hand, left knee. Bridge, press. Good. Cross, crunch, and press. Press into the knee. Good. Think about flattening out through that core. Keep the tension. Again, you can drop the knee or the hip if you need to on the right side. Good. We have 3 more. Out through your mouth. Last one. And all the way down. Good. Nice job. So that is definitely going to work the glutes a little bit too and start to warm up some of that cross connection. Now we're going to grab our weight. We're going to hold the weight right over our chest. And to demo the first exercise, what we're going to do, I'm going to inhale and then exhale, come up, lift my knee up, and I'm crossing my hands across my body, and the weight's coming here, okay? We're going to stay on the same side. So join me when you're ready. Inhale, exhale, across. Inhale back to center. Exhale, pull that shoulder up and across towards your knee. Okay, so I'm rotating my hands and also thinking about my shoulder coming across to my knee, and my knee is coming up to hover over my hips. Out through your mouth as you exhale. Good. Really think about that upper ab reaching, crossing over to the lower hip here. Good. We got 3 more. That knee comes up to hover. Opposite hip stays glued to the ground. Good. Last one here. Back down. Good. Let's take it to the other side. Have a second here. Take an inhale, exhale, engage your core, lift in and up, come across the body, lift that knee. Exhale, as we come across, good. Trying to keep the low abs flat here. Opposite hip is anchored to the ground. Lift that shoulder up and across. Really get that rotation here. Good, we have 3 more. Use that breath as you come across. Good, last one. Nice work. And then we're gonna just go into a couple crunches. So this is where it's really important that we're not pushing out into the core here, right? I'm thinking about drawing in and up, keeping my pelvis neutral. You're gonna hold the weight overhead. We're gonna exhale, curl up to the knees, and then inhale back over your face. Exhale, curl up. Inhale back down. Try to get those shoulders off the floor. Good, flattening out through those low abs. Good, take a peek at your core, right? Let's make sure it's not pushing out. Good, last one. And all the way down. All right, let's take it onto our hands and knees. We're going to go into a bear hold with a dumbbell drag. So I'm going to lift up into that bear hold where I'm on my hands and knees. So you'll see from here, I'm finding that neutral pelvis. Okay, so find neutral. I'm going to let my belly kind of hang on my relax. I'm going to exhale, lift up from the lower core. Keep the lower abs engaged. Then we're going to lift the knees, hover, and drag the dumbbell across. Nice and steady. We're just doing a few. Try to keep your weight shifted over your hands. Knees are just hovering over the floor. Nice and steady. Breathe. Nice work. One more per side. Last one. Good, rest. All right, let's take it to half kneeling now. Last one here. So I'm having one knee down, one foot's up. I'm coming up on my toe on the back side. We're gonna hold the weight here. And so now I'm gonna do a low to high chop. So I'm starting low. I'm gonna think about rotating up and across from my lower abs here, okay? So you take your inhale, exhale, up and across, come back down. Good, so I'm making sure my ribs stay stacked over my pelvis and that I'm not arching like this as I lift the weight, right? So I wanna keep the ribs down, up and across. Good, use those lower abs, control the weight. 3 more. Up and over, shoulders down. Last one. Good, rest. All right, other side. So other knees down, up on your back toe, kind of tuck under, feel the hip flexor stretch here. Keep this glute engaged. And then we're gonna exhale, up and across. Nice work. Remember, keep those shoulders down. Think about lifting from the lower abs. Good, we have 3 more. Core stays engaged, ribs stay down. Last one. Good, rest. All right, we're gonna take it through those again. So let's come onto our back. We're gonna start with the bridge. So we're gonna go right into it. We're gonna do left hand with the right leg. So that means left leg is stabilizing. So let's bridge the hips up. Take your left hand, cross crunch to the right knee. Push, and then come back down. Exhale, push. Good, keep the core engaged. Think about flattening out through the lower abs. Keep the hips up on the left. If you can always drop them. Good. 3 more here. Really push into that knee. Last one. Good, rest it down. All right, take it to the other side. Bridge both hips up. Now we're gonna take right hand, left knee, come across, push, come back down. Hold that leg up. Good, flatten out through the low abs, push into the knee. Good, stay driven up through the hips. 3 more. Lower the leg if you need to. 2. Push into that hand. Last one. Good, rest it down. All right, we're gonna go into that little mini crunch. Actually, no, we're going the cross crunch first. All right, here we go. So we're gonna go across our knee to hover, okay? So holding the weight up first over your head. We're gonna exhale, lift the knee, come across your body, inhale back down. Exhale, across, inhale, lower. Take this at your pace. We can speed it up just a little, but we wanna make sure we're still feeling that rotation from the upper ab to the lower abs here. Good, we have 2 more. Feel that hip flexor work on that leg as we lift. Last one. Good, and return. Let's go right into the other side. Exhale, across. Inhale down. Use that breath. Upper abs, rotate toward the lower abs here. Cross connection is important in rehabbing those diastasis recti, but we're trying to keep the tension in the lower abs too. Good, let's get 2 more. Making sure we're not pushing out against the core. Flattening out, last one. Good, rest. So like I said on this one, we're not pushing out here, right? So find that neutral spine, maybe tuck under just a little bit, flatten out through the low abs. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, curl that head, neck, and shoulders up. Reach for your knees. Inhale back down. Just a mini crunch. Good. Flattening out through those abs. You got it. Use that breath. Think about pushing that back into the floor as you curl up. 3 more. Last one. Good, rest it down. All right, take it on hands and knees. We're gonna go into that bear lift with the dumbbell dragging underneath. So set your hands up right under your shoulders, find your neutral pelvis. And then from here, we're taking that nice inhale, ribs, belly back, exhale, lower abs engaged. Keep that engagement. Then we lift the knees to hover, drag. Good, opposite hand to elbow, to the weight. Good, try to keep your weight shifted forward, nice and steady. Don't let those hips move. Nice work. We have 1 more per side. And take it down. Good. All right, let's go into half kneeling. So you'll notice we're kind of moving in every position, right? We're working our back, we're working our on hands and knees, we're working in a rotation. That's what's really important to heal the diastasis. All right, tuck under, squeeze your glute, take the weight, exhale, up and across. Good, creating tension in the lower abs, using some rotation here, stabilizing through the pelvis. Yep, using our breath as we move here. We have 2 more. Last one. Good, let's switch sides. Okay, tuck under, squeeze that glute. Exhale as we come across. Good, make sure the ribs stay down. We're not flaring. Use the lower abs to lift up and across. Good, we got 2 more. Good, rest. All right, that's it for today. Nice job. Thanks for joining me. Remember what I said, it's all about bringing the abs in and together, creating that tension between the gap, not so much about how far the gap is, but creating the tension underneath the gap will eventually start to pull them closer together and give you better function.